All right, go for it.
Okay, welcome everybody. This is Kathleen Metzler. I'm an MSI with RRR 247. So our subject today is going to be overcoming objections. Now, I know this is a tough one for everybody, and it just takes practice and practice and practice. You just have to get used to being on the phone and used to talking to people. And if you know your program and have confidence in the program, then that will come over the phone. So let's get going here. I have 5 steps to overcome objections. The first one is anticipate the objection. Most of us know what people are going to say when they call in for a refund or they call in and want to know more about the program. We basically know what they are going to ask because we've been there. They're probably going to ask the same questions we did, right? So the first step is to anticipate the objection. So prepare yourself, and for every point that you make, you'll want to come up with a possible counter objection, something that you can come back with a positive response to. Even if this is not how you would respond, you need to think of those possibilities and be prepared with a positive reaction to what they're going to say. Create objection answers. So step 2, sit down and brainstorm and write down positive reactions to what they could possibly object to. I don't have the money. I can't afford this. I don't have time to do this. Sit down and think of all the different reasons that you could possibly think of and write down a positive response and go over those. That will help you be prepared for when you really get on the phones and you really start working with students. You'll have this down. You'll have that in the back of your mind. So when things pop up, you'll go, oh, I remember that. And you could give them what your positive response is. So always provide them a solution to their objection. There's always a solution. There's always a way around. And it's a great way to show them that they have what they have bought is worth the price, because you're there giving them positive input, positive reasons to do it. Do your homework. Know your caller. So if you're working with students and a student wants to cancel for some reason or has objections to getting into the different programs we have, go back and look at the Trello card. Look at the notes on there. Go back and learn what their why was. Why are they in here doing this? Why do they want to do this? What are their goals? So when you give them a call back to talk about the issues, you can direct them back to their whys and their goals and reinforce that and show them ways that they can get there. So they are wanting to help. They are wanting help to learn a better way to make a residual income from home. So a lot of callers have not done this before, so they get cold feet. They get in here and they start working and they get overwhelmed because they haven't done it before. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. So by you being there and calming them down, getting them focused back onto their goals and their whys, it will settle them down, and then give them steps. It may be baby steps at first, but give them some steps. Give them some small goals that they can achieve in order to get to the big goal that they want to get to. When we were babies, we didn't start out walking. We had to learn how to crawl, and we had to learn how to walk. So think of that when you're with these new students. They're babies. They need to learn how to crawl before they can walk. So make sure you give them the steps and the foundation so they can crawl, so they can eventually learn to walk, and then let them fly after that. And a lot of them have been scammed by other companies. We know there's a lot of scammers out there. They want to feel comfortable. They want to feel that this is real, that this is not a scam. So the more you can help them, the more you can lay the foundation for them, the better they're going to feel about the program. So when you are more familiar with what you're doing, that's going to give them the confidence to know that, yes, this is real. They know what they're doing. They're setting me on a path. So this is real. I can do this too. Step 4, have the right attitude. This is huge, huge when you're talking to people over the phone. Because believe it or not, your voice reflects how you're feeling. If you're having a bad day and something has gotten you really upset, it's going to come across the phone. People are going to hear that. They're going to hear that there's something wrong. And some people, that might scare them away. So you always want to have an upbeat and optimistic attitude. Put a smile on your face when you are talking on the phone. It makes a huge difference. No one wants to hear negativity or depression when they're talking to somebody. So always go into a phone call prepared. You're going to get objections, and that's okay. Keep the smile on your face. Give them reasons to overcome those objections. And those objections are not intended for you personally. Do not take them as a personal attack. You will get callers that are very angry and upset for some reason. They're not upset or angry at you personally. It's just something that's happened in their life. So try to calm them down. Give them a reason to be happy. You know, be upbeat, optimistic. The more you make them feel comfortable, the better rapport you're going to have with them. Step 5, calmly remove objections. Now, it is our nature that when somebody comes at us, if they're verbally attacking us, our natural instinct is to attack back. Don't do that. As I said, it is not personal. It is something else that's going on with them. So calmly address any questions that they have. Try to get them to calm down. I have had several calls where the specialist was not nice, hung up on them, and because they think we are part of that group, they come back and they're very angry, very upset, a lot of times yelling and screaming. But I tell them, please calm down. I'm sorry for what just happened, and I apologize for the way they treated you. But let me explain that we have two different programs here. We have the specialist program and we have the posting links program. Can I at least, talk to you about that? And by using that tone of voice and just speaking with them at that level, most start to calm down. Some never will. Okay, that's just the way they are. But if you just calmly talk to them, tell them your why, tell them why you're here, tell them how long you've been here, tell them that it's an amazing program and they're not going to find anything like this anywhere on the planet, they will start to calm down and you'll get their curiosity, especially when you say there's no other program like this on the planet. It's like, ding, a bell goes off and they go, oh, well, maybe I do want to hear about this. And so they start to calm down. So rationally ease their concerns, make them feel comfortable. And then I've actually sold PBSs to those type of people. So it is possible. Just because they come in yelling and screaming doesn't mean you can't sell a PBS to them, because I've done it. You can do it. You just have to work with them, calm them down. So in conclusion, just remember, don't take it personally. Most are just afraid of what they have gotten themselves into, like they've never done this before. So they have buyer's remorse. They're second guessing themselves, or they've had a bad experience with a specialist. So the best thing you can do is just to calmly talk to them and calm them down, calm their nerves, answer their questions that they may have, because a lot of them do have a lot of questions. So answer their questions. Tell them your why. Explain the program to them. And there are going to be those that still don't want to listen, just want to keep yelling and screaming at you, and that's okay. That's their issue and not yours. Do not take that on personally. It is not personal. And we let those people go because obviously they're probably not a good fit for us, and that's okay. But then there's some of those people that are screaming and yelling and don't want to listen. When they get the refund email that we send out to them, they look at that email and they go, oh, maybe I made a mistake. We get people coming back once they've done a refund, and once they've gone over the email that we send out to them, once they've got a refund, we have people come back to the program. So always leave the phone call on a positive note. Don't get angry. Don't get upset with them. Even if they're cussing and swearing at you, you still tell them to have a good day. And if they're asking for a refund, say, have a good day. I'll go ahead and process your refund. Thank you. And let them go on with their day. And like I said, when they get that email, a lot of times they will come back. So we want to leave a positive experience with them so they will come back to us. Okay? So listen to what they're saying. Understand what they're saying. Respond positively and confirm that they understand what you're saying. Confirm that they really do want a refund. Just always in the conversation. Make sure you confirm what they have told you. Okay, so that's the end of the slideshow for today. But I'm going to take you to a document that we prepared. This document was done by Tony Thomas and Andy Perryman. It is on a document that we call the PBS Scrolls Instructor Protocols. When you become an instructor, you will get access to this document, but there's a lot of information in here for instructors to refer to, but I'm going to pull up this Overcoming Objections. And thank you, Tony and Andy, for doing this. Overcoming objections can be the toughest part of what we do. It is. It's really tough. So here's some encouraging information and tips. Again, when someone says no, they are not rejecting you. They are saying no to themselves because they don't believe they can do it. Do not get offensive or argumentative towards them. I didn't say that right, but that's okay. Develop solid beliefs in the opportunity you are presenting. If you don't believe in the program and you don't believe in yourself, that's going to come across in your voice. So you need to believe in the program and you need to believe in yourself so you can project that to the people you are talking to. Be confident in that you know what you're doing. You know that this is a great program. So there's 5 major questions. Is it real? So a lot of people will just call in just to see if they get a real voice, just to see if there's a live person on the other end. When they hear that live voice, they go, oh, okay, maybe this isn't a scam. Does it work? Because so many people get into these programs where they're just given a few tools and left to flounder on their own. So of course they fail because they have no direction, nobody to guide them. So that's one of the main questions, does it work? The third question is a biggie, can I do it? And most people can. Of course, there are going to be some that cannot. If they don't know how to turn on a computer, then I would have my doubts. But actually, I have taught people who barely knew how to turn on a computer. I have taught them how to do this program. So, can I do it? Yes, they can do it if they put their hearts and minds to it. It's not really a difficult program per se, but there is a lot of information to learn. And that's what I tell them. There is a lot of information to learn, and you'll need to learn that information. So you're going back to school. You're going back to college. You're learning something new. So yes, you can do it if you want to, if you put your hearts and mind to it. Will it work for me? Well, it'll work for you if you follow the steps and you put in the work. If you want somebody else to do it for you, if you're not willing to put in the work, no, it's not going to work for you. And I make that very clear in the beginning also. You need to put in the work in order for it to be successful. And the last question, will you help me? Will I get help? This is a big one too, because like I said, most other programs, they give you a few things and they leave you on your own. You're expected to do it yourself and learn everything on your own. We have amazing support and training here, and I emphasize that a lot. No, you're not doing it on your own. You will have an instructor to guide you. You have live trainings, you have video trainings, and you have website trainings. Everything is there for you. Most other programs will charge you thousands of dollars to get a mentor and to get training. We don't do that. It's all here available to you. You just have to put in the work. So one of the best ways to overcome objections is the feel, felt, found method. Okay? So I know how you feel. Make sure you convey that to the prospective student or to your students. You know how they feel because you've been there. You were there. Remember when you first started, how did you feel? You felt the same way. Oh my gosh, is this real? Is this a scam? Can I do this? You felt that way, so let them know that you felt that way as well when you started. And there's other people in the program that felt the same way too. So most of us come in the same way. We feel the same as they did. We felt the same as they did. And then found, let them know how it works and why it works for you. Tell them that you found the program that you love. You found the program that is making you successful. Top objections. I don't have the money. Don't we hear that every day, all day long? I don't have the money. Well, if their TV broke and they didn't have a TV, they would find the money and go out and get a TV. I can almost guarantee you that. If their car broke down and they needed to get it fixed, they would find the money to get their car fixed. It's the same with this program. How bad do you want it? If you want it, if you want to change your life and have success in this program, you will find a way to get the money. Sure, it may take 2 weeks or a month to save up for it, but they can do it. They can save the money and they can get into the program. That's no excuse. When I came into the program, I was unemployed. I had no income. I borrowed the money and I was able to pay it back. So it can be done. It's just how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to change your life? I don't have the time. Oh my. How many people do we have, Stacy Southward, that work the business, works a full-time job, has a family, and still does the PBS almost full-time? I think Stacy does do it full-time. You can find the time. Again, it goes back to how bad you want it. How much do you want to be successful? You can find the time if you really want to do this. There's no excuse there either. Here's a good one. I was in this before or a similar program and got nowhere. I never got any help at all. Well, this is not an excuse here either. We have all the trainings. We have an instructor to guide them. Everything is here. If they get nowhere, it's because they didn't do the work. They didn't follow the steps. We have everything here that they need to be successful. And as Paul has said many a times, with all the training that we have available, they don't have to have an instructor. If they just follow the training, the website training on RRR, and all the videos that Paul has done, they can do this on their own. But we give them an instructor to help guide them. So again, no excuse here. We have everything that they need to be successful. They just have to do the work. Okay. So set yourself up to get the answers you want. Ask them questions that will give you a yes. This is an old technique that's been around a long time. You want them to start saying yes, 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 yes. You want them to start getting a positive vibe, a positive response. The more yes that they give you, the better chance you're going to get a yes when you ask them to sign up for a PBS. So, like one of the questions. So, you're telling me your job isn't bringing in enough money to cover all your bills? They're going to say yes. You're telling me you're spending all your time doing things that aren't making you enough money? Yes. You want a program that will give you residual income that either supplements or replaces your income? Yes. So when you ask this next question, if I was able to show you a way to make extra income in the time that you have, would you be interested? There's a good chance they're going to say yes. So always ask questions that are going to give you a yes answer. So when you do ask them about PBS, it's going to be a better chance of them saying yes. And that is our goal. We want them to say yes. So guys, that's pretty much it for me. Is Debbie here?
I'm here.
Hey, yay!
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, good presentation today, Kathleen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Overcoming objections is definitely a big deal.
Yeah,
Because
it's
they
a
kept you on
tough.
the spot, and you got to have the answer coming back. So the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah, and the more notes while you're first starting, keep the notes right there next to you. Keep them there so you can quickly glance at them as you're talking to people.
Yeah,
And it'll
and
give
every
you,
time somebody stumps you on something, write that question down and then know how you're going to do it next time. That's how you build, and just it becomes automatic for you.
exactly, exactly.
So if anyone would like, I will do a priority members training today. But again, it's going to be more interactive, and it's not going to be just the basic presentation, which I can give to you in writing if you'd like to have it. Yeah, so we'll see. Does somebody want to speak up and say they want it today, or just stay on the line and we'll see who shows up?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I'm
Oh, I
always
see
there.
a yes from Ellen.
Yes.
It looks like we're getting yeses.
Okay,
Yes,
that's all
we're
it
here.
takes. Somebody wants to hear it, we'll send it, we'll do it.
Send it on.
Okay,
Right, I'm bringing it on.
so those that do not want to stay, you're more than welcome to leave, or you can stay. I mean, it's open to everybody.
And that sounds like a good plan to me. So I'm going to get myself set up here to share my screen.
And I'm going to mute out and have you take over.
Okay, so you're going to turn the hosting over to me?
Let me see. Priscilla? Oh, it says Debbie is the host now. Okay,
Okay.
Debbie. Thank you,
Good deal.
Priscilla.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Priscilla, we may want to stop recording and then start again. Or Debbie.
Oh, okay. Will do. I'm
Yeah,
still looking for my
She has to
screen
do
here.
it now because she's the host.
Okay.
Actually, it's not. And we should be good to go. So thanks, guys, for handing it off. And all right, for those of you who stayed, I'm going to give a quick run through. Last week, I went through and I explained the overall flow of how the priority members board works. And I got some feedback this last week about things that were not clearly understood. So I want to go over those specifically today. And then I'm going to keep doing that, just flushing out questions that people have. And I think that in another couple of weeks, we'll have most of those questions answered. And I like that idea. So we're going to do that for a bit, and then we'll go back to more of a standardized presentation when I've got it finalized. So here we are on the priority members Trello board, and they are coming in daily. And as they come in, and it looks like it's getting better. The volume has been pretty low on these lately, but you can see here now on the 8th, we have a number of them that have not been followed up on, and here as well. And you can go in and follow the protocols and work these per the written instructions, assuming that you're already priority certified. And we did have a new person certified this week, and I have last week, and I have 2 more coming this week. So we're starting to get back on a flow of getting people through those site reviews, which is really great. But anyway, starting back here, let's see, let's just pick a card, any card. And you'll notice that when you're on these cards, when you open them up and in the presentation process, there are instructions about telling people, telling these new students that they need to have the floor number. And anyway, I have figured out a lot of people don't really understand the floor number. So on every single Trello card right here, see it says floor program Z, and then a phone number. This is the number that you give that new student to call the specialist program. Like Kathleen was explaining earlier, we have 2 programs. One is the specialist teams, and the other one is our PBS program. But we need to let them get through and have a conversation with the specialist teams, one of those teams. So program Z is one of those teams. And that's the phone number to contact them. So when we give them that number, they dial in and they say they're ready to talk. And then one of those specialists gets on the phone with them. They're going to ask them a number of questions. And some of those people are going to come back and be offended by the questions they were asked. They're going to say things like, why do they want to know, whether or not I own my home, or what my goals are with this? Or there are a lot of questions that are asked that sometimes they feel are a little too personal. But they're necessary because this is an advanced program where you can have things customized for you, and you can participate in other programs that are not in ours, but that are going to cost more to do, basically. So when you're talking to somebody and they start to ask you about what that is, you tell them that you don't know what it is because it's not a part of our program. And our program encompasses a lot of different ways to get involved in online marketing. And this is one of them. But we have an obligation to let these people talk to these specialists before we move forward. And you need to go out of your way to make sure that you don't get between yourself and that specialist conversation that takes place. Once that conversation is done, you tell your student, as soon as it's done, call me back, text me, do something, just let me know it's done, and then I'm going to walk you through. You know, you're getting a view of the whole thing. And if they fight you on it and say, oh no, I want to come straight through to you, you still need to tell them to go back, and that they owe it to themselves to at least look what is there. And that helps us a lot, because when they get there, they'll realize that maybe they don't want to spend, you know, an extra $1,000 or an extra $10,000 on something customized. It makes much better sense to let them have that conversation, because we know that 97% of the people that go into the specialist advanced conversations, 97% of them come back to us. So there's no reason to be concerned about letting them talk to the specialist, except for the fact they might be disgruntled, that they want to know stuff, you know, maybe credit information. So, and then you've got to calm them down a little bit, but then you tell them at that point, once they're done with it and they're not going with the specialist, you're in a position to move them forward with that go email and get them moved into PBS training. So I wanted to make a big deal of that, because we talk about floor numbers all the time, and if you've been here a while, people don't realize, okay, what exactly is the floor? And that's what it is. It's teams of specialists that do something customized before they come to us. And if they don't do it, that's when they come to us. So hopefully that helped. And I am not sure, is everybody open for conversation here? Because I want this to be interactive. If somebody just wants to ask a question, that would be great. I don't remember where to get it. Let's see here.
Debbie, this is Charlene.
Hi,
We can
Charlene.
unmute ourselves.
Hi.
Yeah, you
I
can
have a
unmute
question.
yourself. That's great.
So my mentor, my instructor is Sheila Matchett. Is she the one that asks you when I'm ready for this? That my site needs to go over under review?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so I need to let her know when I'm ready, or she
Yes.
needs to let me know when I'm ready?
Actually, you need to let her know that you're interested in becoming an instructor. And do you have an instructor card yet?
I am an instructor, but not priority.
Oh, okay. So you should have an instructor card at this point.
She does.
Okay, good to know. Then there are steps involved in the training, and as far as the prerequisites are concerned, what you need to get done in order to get in as an instructor to begin with, and then eventually to evolve to priority. So we can check that and see. So if you want to send me a private message about it, I will check and see what's on your instructor card and get you in for a site review. Now there is a form to fill out, and you may have seen it already on the probably the A-team group chat. And if you haven't seen it there recently, I know it was all handed out to your MSIs over the last week, and then they can hand it down to you. So if you go to your instructor or ask them to go to their MSI to get it, make sure you fill out that form, because that's what starts the process, is getting the form put in. And then we take it from there, and we're going to make sure, we're going to start taking you through the steps. Do you have a completed instructor card? Has your site been reviewed and approved? And then we'll take it from there, that you've attended this training and that you understand it in a way that makes us comfortable to have you move on to those boards. Then we're going to add you to those boards, and then we'll send you your certification that you're good to go to start working those.
Debbie, I have a quick question.
Yes, and who is this?
This is Kim Albers.
Oh, hi, Kim.
Hi. Kathleen has reviewed my site for the instructor training part of it, and I'm currently working with 6 students. Do I need to have 10 students to be considered for this?
That is more of, that needs redefining actually, but it is more of, that's to become a basic instructor. And what I'm discussing here is the priority members board.
Okay.
But when you get to the priority members board, we'd like for you to have some good experience on the 101 boards, 101 plus, and where you can get in there and start picking up students there. And that's something that as you grow, I think you'll know, and more importantly, your instructor will know when it's time. And that's why a part of the recommendations going into this is having your instructor send me a Skype message that tells me how many students you have and the experience you've had and how many flows you've done, because we really want you to go in experienced with this on the priority members board. The protocols are tight, and if you start breaching protocols in there, it's not fun. So it's not fun for anybody. And so we just want to make sure that you're cut above, you're at the top of the program when you move into the priority boards, with your site all in good order and the right number of students. So that's something that at this point is being discussed with your instructor.
Okay.
So the
Hey,
best thing
Debbie.
to do is tell your instructor, and your instructor should know, because if they weren't on our planning meetings that we're having weekly, they will have received a message to share this information with their students.
Okay, I'll get a hold of Shannon.
That sounds good. And any questions at all, just go ahead and send me a PM, and I'll check it out for you.
Thank you.
You got it.
Debbie,
Yes?
it's Chrissy.
Hi, Chrissy.
Hello. Can I get just maybe some more suggestions? So on the specialist team, so when they come back or they're really mad on the questions that the specialists are asking them, like they want $6,000 and they're getting really personal about their finances and bank accounts, and they're pretty mad. I'm pretty good about calming them down, but when they start asking questions about why they're asking those questions, how do you approach that? I mean, I tell them that we edify several ways to get you started with their business, and it's my job to make sure that they're, I'm there to make sure that they have all the opportunities for them and a good fit for them. And so it's the specialist team to make sure that they find a good fit for them as well. But how do you approach that, or what do you say when they're asking me why they're asking so many questions? What's a better way to handle that when they're so mad and they're asking me why they're
Yeah,
asking?
you're talking
You know what
about
I'm
when they're really mad at this point and they've already been through it.
Uh-huh.
Because going into it, if they're asking too many questions at that point, I just tell them, hey, you need to go do this, and you will know if you want this or not. You'll know if it's right for you, and if it is, that's great, but you need to look at it. And then they'll come back and they'll say, okay, I looked at it. Let's go. Let's get started. So, but we don't discuss even that we have a PBS, before we're sending them to the specialist.
Mm-hmm.
But after they've come out of the specialist, some people come out of there pretty hot, and they're yelling at you when they call. Who do those people think they are?
Right. Yes.
Why are they asking me these things? And why do they want to know whether or not I own my home and how much equity I have in it?
Right. Yeah.
And of course, I'm secretly thinking that's because however much you have, that's what they want to take.
Yeah. So I don't know how to, I really don't know what to say at that point.
I think we all have to admit that there's a difficulty there. And, it's pretty clear at that point that they're not gonna, and you can tell them that, hey, that's not gonna happen going forward. You can go as fast or as slow as you want to, and you're gonna build it up yourself. But those other people, the specialists,
Mm-hmm.
they're offering custom solutions for them. And those cost money. So, it depends. Some of the specialists are good and they do a good job doing it. And when they decide not to, they do a nice job turning them back over to us. Some of them don't. Some of them are particularly bad. And so we watch for those, and then we report them when they get a specialist that causes a student to get irate. Because that's where Rory can step in and say, hey, tone it down. Be professional about this. You don't have to act like you're trying to take everything from them in the process.
The only thing I could think to say was, some of my students just decided not to go with the program, and some of my students have. They want it built for them, and that's great. And if you got offended by that, I apologize, but you know, let's get you into something else. I just didn't know what to say. I floundered. So
Yeah.
I thought
Well,
maybe.
that was that, and this is this. So now let's go forward with this. And, make a distraction. Seriously.
Okay.
Okay,
Hey,
no
Debbie.
worries. Now, you haven't heard about this yet. I needed to have you see that first. Now you can talk to me about this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Debbie?
you.
You know what? Honestly, because I've been thrown off my feet a few times with those type of irate people, and then I realize now that if I stay cheerful,
Uh-huh.
that just my demeanor makes a big difference.
Right.
And
Okay.
then, I'm just telling them, it's like, okay, that's all in the rear view mirror now. We're
Yeah.
going forward. I'm going to show you something else. But you needed to see that. It
Well,
helped us because when
yeah.
we realized what it cost to have it done, as a custom.
Yeah, I went by my experience, because I had a good one. My specialist was Brandon, and he did ask me for $6,000. I'm like, whoa, yeah, not going to work for me. So I had a good specialist, but I know that there's not so many nice ones out there.
So see, now you've got that story too. Remember, Kathleen, about the feel, felt, found?
Yes.
Oh, I totally get it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I went through that too. And yeah, I've even told people, yep, that made me mad too.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I did, and it's worked out great for me. And I've been at it, I'm in my 4th year.
Yeah.
So actually, I think a little more than that. But it has worked out great. It did not happen overnight, but I did it myself, and it worked out great.
Okay.
So, come with me and look at what I got here. It's not what you just saw.
Yeah. And
And
then I
it's
got
a
to talk
fraction
to.
of the cost. And after you slam them with $6,000 and they come to you and it's $87.95, it makes it look really great.
Okay.
And then you get one-on-one training with it. So pretty hard to beat it.
And we really don't need to know about the specialist programs, correct? I mean,
About the
Ashley's told.
differences in them. Nope. Some
Yeah.
of them are better than others. I know that for sure.
Okay.
But as far as actually knowing the intricacies of how they work, like if they start to ask you, well, what's this fee and what's that fee, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you shouldn't know anything about that, really. And on purpose, you should not know anything about that.
Okay. Well,
It's whatever they did. They went in online and they made those selections online.
okay.
And, again, our program encompasses a number of opportunities. That one's not ours.
Okay.
So
All right.
whatever you bought, that's what you did. And you can go, pursue that with them if you want to. But why they would, I don't know.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet.
Hey, Debbie,
Yes?
I always act very surprised when they complained about the specialist, and I say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that happened. Do you know who you talked to? We don't accept that kind of behavior here. So if you'll let me know who that was, I'll make sure it gets noted. And then I make sure I let them know that that's not going to happen in the future moving forward. That sometimes that kind of takes the edge off of it.
Right. Like it's an anomaly. It just only happened to them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a good specialist experience? Because I did not.
I'm old. I don't remember anything.
It helps when your brain's like a sieve because you can just keep moving forward.
Yeah. No, I just remember I didn't accept any of those offers, but I don't remember a bad experience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's almost like, some of them are not very good, frankly, and they will almost make it like it's a joke sort of thing, like they're trying to shyster you into doing something.
Right.
And it leaves you with a bad feeling. And so, those people are going to call and feel that way. And then, suddenly you have this glorious opportunity. But if somebody's really upset, I go ahead and told them, hey, I didn't like it either when they wanted to know,
Yeah.
my credit card balances and, that kind of stuff.
Hey, Debbie.
Yeah.
I actually came in as a VIP through a specialist. So
Oh, okay.
my experience was not that bad. So I wouldn't have ended up coming to Rory if it wasn't for a specialist. I didn't end up,
Mhm.
I ended up not doing the rest of the specialist program and getting my money back on that part of it, but I stayed with Rory. So
That's great.
you know,
Yeah.
sometimes it just depends. And the guy that I had, I ended up financing a lot of it, and that part of it I got back. But, the part that I did with Rory, I didn't ask for that part of it back because Rory held up his end of the deal. And, anyway, so just,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not always a bad thing. Sometimes I
Yeah,
got
that's
some really
right. It's not always a bad thing. But when you have somebody that's screaming, and you had a bad experience too, it does not hurt to share that, I feel you here.
It's
I
not
went through that too, and everything
it's
turned
not
out great.
supposed to
So,
be a bad experience. It's not
yeah,
supposed to be that way.
yeah.
And my guy
And I
was
have, oh, go
several
ahead.
things happened and I called him. So
Awesome. Yeah, I have a couple of students that did both actually. They're, they're in the advanced program, and they also did a PBS. And that's been an interesting experience for me too, because they did not have that same bad experience. And I'm presuming that the level of the badness of your experience has a lot to do with your ability to, to pay for custom things. So anyway, the thing is that when we move forward with it, if you just, let them know that they can do both, as they come through. And one of the two that I've had actually came right out and told me that between the two that he prefers the PBS program. And that doesn't mean that there aren't great opportunities in the specialist program, because there are for the right people. It's just that there are not that many people that are in the right position to go do the custom deal. And when they get there and do that, for some of them, it works out great. It's just that, we're sitting over here on the PBS side of things, and we're waiting for them to get through the specialist program. So whatever we can do to smooth that over. And when somebody's screaming at me, I'm going to tell them, hey, look, I went through that same thing. I came into the program the same way you did. And, look at me, I have a career here now. So whatever it takes to calm them down really is what it's going to take. But that's great. And did you say you continued on with the specialist program, or did you end it?
no, I did not continue with the specialist program. But I stayed with Rory, and even though I had a difficult time with some health situations and all that stuff, and it took me a while to get going, I'm glad that I stayed with Rory. I ended up, Dallas is what was the momentum to change my world and finally get my, act together instructor wise and all that stuff. So, but it took me a while to get things moving, but I stayed with Rory because the PBS and Rory's whole system is what, ended up working for me. So, Dallas and meeting everybody and seeing that the family is real.
Yeah. Doesn't that feel great?
Yeah, and I think what the specialist said to me that made the difference was that teaching us not just how to have a system, but how to do it from scratch. And that's what, how to build it, how to make and how to change the wording and do it from the beginning rather than it just being there, so that you can teach it to other people. And that's maybe as we're teaching people about a PBS system instead of just doing blogging, but how to build the business and be able to teach it to other people, gives us some of the words that those specialists end up selling people like me, to where I was willing to spend as much money as I was, to where I wasn't just learning basics, I was learning how to teach it to other people as well. And that's what made me want to spend the money,
Right, exactly. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. It's one of those things where they come out of there, and then I've had them tell me, people that were in the specialist program and came to PBS separately, they didn't do them both simultaneously, that either way, you have to still know how to run your site. They don't stay with you for the rest of your life and keep modifying it. And as we all know, it's never done. It's always needing maintenance. So you at least need to be working at a level to where you can do the maintenance.
Right.
And so you have to learn it anyway, is the bottom line. And we give you the best path to learn it.
Exactly. Instead of just $39 and you get some, because I spent $39, I know, 10 times and never did anything with any of it. you know.
Mhm.
And the one time that I did do the 39, I got a hold of Jacob, and you know, he said, "All right, you got to quit spending this $39 and let's do something serious," you know. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know what? I've had an instructor too that actually made some really good money going through the specialist program. He got
Yeah.
some things out there, you know, public facing that needed some advertising, and it came through for him. And he was thrilled to death with it. So it's, I don't want to be saying anything, you know, negative about the specialist program. It's just a step in our process. And we don't refer to it as a step with people when they're brand new coming in. We just need to smooth it over with them easily. And when you're cheerful, when you talk to them, they remember you and they want to come back. And I've had people tell me that they, you know, they trust me, that, you know, they felt like they could trust me and they weren't feeling comfortable with the other program. And so then, and they've already decided against it, so I invite them along. And it sounds like you've got some really good experience with that, Kim. So, any other questions? Andy, did I wear you out? I like your approach a lot, that you act like it's the, you know, it doesn't happen that often when people are mad about the specialist.
Yeah, it puts them at ease.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, and you have a voice too that puts people at ease just listening to your voice. So that helps a lot. And that's what Kathleen said earlier too, is if you remain calm, and that's hard for me when somebody's yelling at me, I want to yell back. But
Don't
Well,
we all?
when I'm preaching, I put them to sleep. So I guess that's, you know, same effect.
so it works both ways. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah. Your enthusiasm matters a lot. And
It does.
yeah, I think that's going to pay off well for you. So, anybody else? We get them all answered. All right, so I think next week we're going to go back to I'm going to run through the whole presentation again. The important thing to me was that we discussed the whole specialist aspect of things today, and the floor number and what the floor number is. It never ceases to amaze me. You know, somebody will call me and say, "What's the floor? You kept talking about the floor." And then I realized, oh, okay, we didn't actually define the floor first. So anytime you have something like that, let me know, and we'll go over it more in detail about the parts that matter. And I mean, really truly overcoming the objections from going from the specialist back into PBS is probably one of our most anxiety-filled moments, because you kind of know it's coming in some cases. And as you get to do this, and as you move to the priority board, you'll get to know, because you're going to be working with different specialist teams, and you get to pick. So if you find a specialist board that you're working and you like the way it's going, that's great. Then stay there, and then you're going to get to know the names of the specialists, and they're going to hear your name, because when those people call the floor number, they're going to say, "I was working with so-and-so," and the more they hear your name, the more they are likely to go back and say, "Okay, we'll call so-and-so back," as opposed to just saying, what really bothers me is when they say, "All right, we'll call the customer support line and tell them you want to cancel." And tell them you want to quit. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You guys get to do it first. And then when you're done with it, we're careful not to get in your way. And then when you're done with it, then we take them. So,
One other suggestion,
uh-huh.
if you find a floor that you really like, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's right. Then keep it to yourself.
Everybody wants to go there.
Yes, because you can see you're getting results from it, and that the people are responsive. You know, when they call the floor, the specialist calls back in a reasonable amount of time, and we like that a lot. Did I just hear somebody else with a question? No?
As usual, Debbie, great training.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, trying to mix it up here a little bit, because I know there are pockets in here of unanswered questions. So the more that we can answer, I think the stronger we'll get. So don't hesitate again. Just Skype me if you have something specific that you'd like to have covered. We'll do it. And I think that pretty much covers it for today. So let's go about our week this week, and I'll bring a lot of people in from the specialist groups. And then we'll talk again next Saturday if you're available to come. I'd love it.
Thanks, Debbie. That was awesome.
You got it. So you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next
Thank
week on
you.
the
You
call.
too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.